this is Ben, and I am back with Norbert for another railroad excursion. Today we're going to go on the Hiwassee Loop. This 5-hour round-trip excursion would take us on what was formerly the Louisville and Nashville Railroad's Atlantic Division. Today it's operated by the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum. The train was made up of cars from several different railroads. The car we rode in formerly operated on the Central of Georgia Railway. One of the cars was original to the L&N, however it didn't originally operate on this route. There was even an Illinois Central Dome car. Tickets to ride in the Dome car had already sold out by the time we booked this excursion. Both locomotives used in this excursion came from Locomotive Leasing Group GATX. Even though they're leased, both units still dated back to the 70s. The museum usually runs one of its own locomotives. However, Tennessee Valley 5109 was down for service at the time. The museum has several diesel locomotives that it operates on its excursions, and they're still adding to their roster. In the fall of 2021, they acquired a Fairbanks Morris diesel. The locomotive is known as a Baby Trainmaster and is one of only 2 remaining. The day of our excursion was a pretty overcast fall day, but we still had a great view of the river, and as a former New Englander, I was pleasantly surprised to see how much fall foliage Tennessee gets. The lead car had a concession stand, as well as passenger seating. The luggage space above the passengers had been turned into a miniature railroad. This is the first time I've seen a train operating within a train. It just proves that you can set up and run an LGB train set just about anywhere. Once we reached the end of the line, the locomotives were uncoupled and brought to the other end of the train for the return trip. We also switched our seats from one side of the car to the other so we could enjoy the views from the other side. On the return trip, our tour narrator brought out the old banjo to provide some entertainment. The main highlight of this excursion is the trestle where the tracks cross over each other as they corkscrew up the mountain. If you watch out the window, you can actually see the train crossing over itself. Unfortunately, capturing this on video wasn't really possible. However, the experience made us feel like we were on a giant model railroad layout. So that's the Hiwassee Loop excursion. If you're in the Chattanooga area and want to see the Tennessee mountains, I highly recommend going on an excursion. In addition to this, there's also the museum and the shorter Missionary Ridge excursion, which is often pulled by the museum's steam locomotive. If you want to see footage of that excursion, I made a video of it a couple years ago. And if you want to see more, check out my playlist Railroad Adventures. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe. I wanted to get that on video.